Hello, my name is Alun. My pronouns are he, him, and today I'm facilitating the third of 5 sessions of my hack together game, Uncharted, and I keep forgetting what it's called. Uncharted Stars, I think, is what I settled on. But I have to check every time because it's bringing together Uncharted Worlds and Starforged. So Uncharted Stars, I think, is probably where we ended up, but who knows? Go back to session one, and I might have been clearer. This game is organized, as are all of my online games, as part of the Open Hearth gaming community. If you want to know more about Open Hearth, then simply search Open Hearth gaming community and come play with us. We've got a Patreon and all sorts. And we think the table culture here is great. And there is going to be in September an opportunity to come play for us, just just to see what it's like. But more of that closer to the time. I will do a quick previously, I think. Previously, we saw the crew of the Chimera, is what we settled on, wasn't it? Yes. The crew of the Chimera were on a bounty hunting mission in the SETI Rose system. They were the bounty was to really stop some Brotherhood raiders operating in the system. They did that rather cunningly, I think, through a slight liberal use of a move that I've rather tightened because I thought it was a bit too powerful. To take out these prisoners, to take these pirates prisoner, with the offer of you leave your ship here, we'll put you aboard a space station we've come across. And this space station is, we think, according to best estimates, a station running dark in the SETI Rose system. But the station belongs to the Jihun family, who are rivals of one of our players, Brizantimus Show. So I think and I will just check in with the players here. I think the plan was you lock the pirates, the half a dozen pirates in the hold, and the deal was that they would leave the ship. You've signaled HSA enforcement that the ship is now there waiting for someone to pick up. It's out of commission. But it was abandoned when you got there. And you are, I think, planning to use this handful of pirates to help take control of this listening station. We're not quite certain what it's doing, but it's certainly running dark in the system without using any active sensors. So I think that's where we're at. So, can I ask everyone to rename themselves to character, please? So anybody want to put their hand up and correct any of that, and then we'll kick off with where we start. Okay, right. So I think at extreme range to this Jihun station, not a huge station. Estimates would be 20, maybe odd people could be housed here. What's the plan, and how are you going? The pirates have said they'll go for this. You're going to leave them in possession of this station. But I think probably Karst, who is the leader, the captain of that raider ship, probably wants to know exactly what's going on. So how are you having that conversation with Karst and her people? Let me ask Paxt, because Paxt is has moved in slightly disreputable circles in his time. Paxt, how do we see you kind of talking to the pirates? Because you've locked them in the hold.
But Pext is definitely not above joining the pirates in the hold to talk to them face to face. I'm not sure if I have some kind of backup with me, maybe Jord.
Yeah.
As an enforcer / bodyguard.
So yeah, I'm happy for that. While Briz and Pleasant are backup, or are you going to go to the hold as well, Briz?
Oh no, I'm in the command module with my finger hovering over the blast them out into air, out into space button.
I was just going to say somebody's got to fly the ship, but
Not
Well,
Briz,
you're the
I kind
ultimate
of
backup.
imagine, you're making very slow progress, 1G progress just to maintain a bit of gravity, at extreme range from this place. You're not using active sensors, so you are a very small spot, just running in a straight line. So, does that mean, though, Pleasant, that you're going to sit up on the command deck with Briz up in ops?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably listening in over comms, because we've given you kind of decent interpersonal comms. So Paxed, you and Jort, the iris door opens into the hold, and half a dozen sword brother pirate raiders are there. I've added Karst to the faces and places tab. Heavily tattooed woman, looks hard as nails. So and kind of she folds her arms and says, okay. So the fact that you've come to see us suggests that we're close to this place you talked about. So what happens next, friend?
As you might remember, I do have an AI with broadcasting, like visual broadcasting abilities. I assume that it's something like the message in Star Wars: A New Hope, like a 3D projection, crappy maybe.
I think it's probably less. The AI allows you to give it simple instructions. So
it does say broadcast visual things.
Yeah,
it's one of the things it can do.
Yeah, you can broadcast stuff from it, project it on a screen. I don't think we're up to holograms, if I'm honest.
You're not into holograms?
No. I mean, this is quite a primitive.
Maybe shitty holograms.
Shitty holograms, yeah. You'd much rather project them on the wall, honest.
Okay, cool. Super 8.
Yeah,
style.
Super 8 holograms.
And so I want my AI Spark is its name to project the thing onto the wall, and I say to Karst, well, you're the pirates, kind of your job. I would like you to infiltrate the station. I mean, we have George here, who is an expert in putting people into special spots, guarded spots, if you will, and take hold of the station. And please don't destroy everything, because maybe we can sell some of the stuff.
Okay, so we're doing all the work, is what I think you're telling me.
Well, you're doing the dirty work. The brain stuff is up to us, I guess. George, where's the best infiltration point? What do you think?
Well, let me be clear. All you've got, because you didn't close in, you didn't do scans of this beyond the most peripheral. You didn't want to be noticed. You didn't want to give them any sign you were there. So you're working on the fact it's a shape.
It's like a black box.
It's a black box. It's certainly spinning. So it's a standard spinning space station. But in terms of any kind of sense of its layout, its airlocks, you got nothing at this point. That's why you're at extreme range. I just want to have this conversation.
Port knows stations. We will deliver you to the airlock. No problem.
Okay. And then we take all the risk. Is that as I understand it? So none of you come with us. Is that right, big fella?
No, we will infiltrate another point.
Okay.
Two-prong attack, like a pincer of a crab.
Okay, so we draw fire and you go in through the back door.
No, we draw fire, you go in the back door.
Okay, so you go in first, followed by us.
Through a different door, many doors.
Oh, many doors. Okay, okay. And I suppose it does dawn on you that they do this for a living. But yeah, okay. And the deal is that together we take this place, take possession of it. We deal with anyone who's on board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. What does HSA say? Rules of engagement. Rules of engagement. That's the phrase. So rules of engagement are sweet and clear. But you don't want us to destroy too much stuff. Now, if because the deal was we get to keep it, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it?
Okay. That's the offer that nice lady said. Okay. Okay, so can we have our guns then? Because I'm presuming you didn't leave them in the cargo hold with their weapons.
May I suggest that there is a crate that we have locked down there that when the time comes, we'll unlock that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they will have brought their suits with them. So yeah, okay. She understands this. Yeah, I do that. I get that. Pleasant, can you roll your examine move, please?
Of course. Always like to be asked to roll a move out of nowhere. That's going to be a very interesting thing. All right, so that is which one? Mind or hardware?
I think this is an anomaly. Roll plus mind.
10.
10. What about that then? Okay. There was when you kind of came to an agreement with Karst and her crew further out in the system, there was a slight peak in their, power went spiked. And at the time, you'd assumed that was just them trying to get their weapon systems back online. Because if you remember, you disabled their power grid, and there was a spike in their power output. It literally ping, and then so the assumption was that they tried to get the system back up and failed. They kind of pump started it and it went flat. But the more you've thought about it, it could have been a very tight packet communication in system past you.
Am I thinking to the Sword Brotherhood ship or just from somewhere to somewhere?
I think it was from the Sword Brotherhood ship. And it was kind of back in the direction you had come from.
Okay.
And I think, if you share that with Briz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Briz. I might be able to figure that out, but I don't know what to do with that, Briz. We're about to step in it.
Well, if they have other people in system, the other people will meet up with the HSA when the HSA goes to take their ship, which is fine. That is fine, because they don't know the coordinates of the station that we're going after. So I think we just have to be aware that there is a potential complication when we go to leave the station. That's the way I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It's also possible they were communicating with the station, right? I mean, as far as directions go. Because that's what I thought you were hinting at.
Well, certainly that power spike and, what your sensors picked up, what your scanners picked up, it could have been a burst of transmission going back along your line of approach. And your line of approach, I suppose, was from the vicinity of the station to the vicinity of the Raiders ship. So I'm not sure I'm hinting at that.
Yeah.
I'm simply putting that before you.
Interesting. Well, let's see what happens.
Okay. So Jort, Paxt, I think we understand, they understand the part they're to play. You will release weapons to them when the time comes for the boarding. Sweep and clear, and you're going in through some different access. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm curious at what point you put on your active sensors now as you begin to kind of coast in towards the station, because you're
Pleasant.
approaching it, so you know any flare from your drive is behind the ship. So what are we thinking?
I mean, it is a risk reward, right? That's what you're saying before, is it's the more we scan, the more likely we're to be noticed scanning. So I feel like it's kind of press your luck sort of with the sensors. So I would say Pleasant knows what they're doing with it, but not me. So I don't know if there's something we should roll to see how well they're doing.
So it is roll plus scanners to observe, analyze, or decipher using the ship's systems, or check for threats.
But I have recon in infiltrate.
You do, but when you're so far away from this isn't about your powers. This is about what is the ship capable of. Yeah, so when you're using the ship, it's the ship skill set that applies. Once you get up close and personal to that ship, I'm very happy for you to, go recon.
Not so hot. That's 5.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay. So on a 5, what can I tell you that would be really interesting?
May I help you with that, Pleasant?
Why don't you try that? Why don't you try
I was
that?
just wondering if you could help with the ship moves.
Yeah, let me kind of see if I can help with keeping us cloaked. Does that seem fair?
I think that it's about trying to minimize the stray radiation from your active sensors. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's have you roll to aid an ally. That
Okay.
sounds like hardware, really, because
That
that is
seems
what
fair.
the ship is.
So that's a 10.
Well, will you look at that? So aid an ally on a 7+, it goes from fail to mixed success, and on a 10+, everyone gets away home free. So
Wow.
that's as good as it gets. So on a 7 to 9, the GM says what stands between you and exploiting your find. Okay. This is definitely a Jihun station. Briz knows enough about standard cadence practice to know that there will be a security detail on board. It is a spinning station. The ship dock is in the middle of the connecting arms. What more do you want to know? Which of those harmful what is it? Yeah, I think that's it. I think an interposing guardian or defense is the security team. Yeah.
For the incredible helping role, can we figure out some good places to infiltrate?
I think that will require you to. I think now it is reasonable for Jort to use
Get up here, big guy.
When you sneak into an area, I think we might be able to, based on the scans that you've obtained. So Jort, roll plus. I think it's more mind, I have to say, than precision, because this is
Really?
about.
It says in the words there, sneak into an area.
Yeah, but you're not actually sneaking in. You're looking at the data the scans are giving you to see if you can find something out.
Okay.
It's either that or you can use gather information. Take your pick.
Oh, that's fine. Whether it actually ever rolls, that cube is spinning. I can't see anything. Can you?
No.
Let me reload the web page.
There it is. Oh,
6.
Wow. Okay. So on
No,
5.
5.
So on a 5, I think that their sensors light up. You're not at extreme range. You're now at, you know, far range. So they know a ship is incoming. Those scanners were on just a little bit too long, it looks like. Maybe Jort was saying, no, can you just focus? Just give me some kind of visual of that. And it all went a bit pear-shaped. So they know a ship is incoming. Their active sensors go live. They will now be scanning you. Briz, what are you thinking at this point? Is this time to tool up?
Yeah, let's target their sensors.
Okay. So let's
I say, Pleasant, is it okay if I take a shot?
Seems like this might be an opportune time for it.
Okay. We're
Okay,
at
so
range. Yeah.
we know that you've got an energy cannon. Its range is far. It's capable of doing major damage to something. So let's have you roll plus hardware.
Okay. That is, as they say, a 5. Pleasant.
Can I?
Perhaps we could reciprocate.
They've got some sort of gravity distortion field that's making it hard for you to aim there. I could send out an EMP and disable that for you, if you'd like.
That'd be nice. Yes.
Let's have you. Well, I think we're back to hardware, are we? Or tuning the sights or whatever you're using. So let's have you roll plus hardware, Pleasant, to aid an ally.
Alrighty. A little bit of hardware. Ah, that's a 10. There you go.
Okay, so neither of you face any cost, and that improves from a fail to a mixed success, which on a 7-9, you inflict harm as established. So I'm going to mark major harm on the target. But your ship is at risk of damage as established. Roll for shields. So I think there's an exchange of fire here. Do you want to roll for shields, Pleasant? Or one of the others? Who wants to be on the bridge at this point?
Pax hasn't had to roll for a while.
Fine. Paxed, let's have you roll to see whether the shields will hold up. Roll plus 2.
2d6 coming up, and it is a 10. No,
On a 10.
It is, yeah, well, it is a 10.
It is a 10. On a 10 plus, the severity of the damage is reduced by 2 steps. So it's from major down to minor and to none. So the shields hold up. They were firing, I guess, at your operations. Again, trying to damage your weapon systems, and it's a kind of miss for them. So you've done major damage. Their sensors go dark. Yeah.
Good.
So now they're operating blind. But what you do see is something is accelerating quickly away by the time you reach close range.
I wonder if the pirates had a person hanging around here.
No, this is definitely something leaving the station.
Yeah, but we are operating under the assumption that they might have contacted the station, and maybe, some kind of ally to the pirates was on the station and is now leaving.
So it's all good. Let's press on. I don't think there's anything for us to worry about. I'm in a good mood.
And I thinking about our ship's capabilities, we're not catching that anyway.
I was going to say, yeah, it would be reactor to outrun or overtake, and it is going off, at a fairly high G. I think it's fair to say, might reflect some kind of escape vehicle, lifeboat, conceivably.
I mean, if it's a lifeboat, they won't be able to flee anyways. They won't outrun us. Can we now take a picture of the station and see if there's like a back door and proceed with the plan as Jort in his brilliant brain?
As long as I know you're ignoring that
Yeah.
smaller shuttle come in system transit ship that just took off at pace, then yeah, you can focus on the station. So Jort, I think this is seized by force, isn't it?
Yeah, we want to go in guns a-blazing.
When you set a plan in motion and you intend to use force to seize control of the situation, roll plus force.
8.
8. On a 7+, choose up to 2 tactical successes. But now your small unit tactics, am I going to give them that? No, I would give you that if you were on the ground or on the station. But I think small unit tactics, I don't think applies to boarding a ship, boarding a station from a starship, from a spaceship. So let's treat that as 2 tactical successes. There's a set of 5 there. Suppress a threat's capacity, for now at least. Block a threat's escape route or line of retreat. Put a threat in your crosshairs. Deploy an ally or vehicle to where you want them to be, or something else the GM agrees is possible, practical, reasonable.
Well, we can pretty much rope. It's a station. Block a threat's escape route. It can't go anywhere anyway.
No.
I don't really want to put me in our crosshairs because there's none. So let's go for suppress a threat's capacity to do us harm, and deploy an ally or vehicle to where we want them.
Okay. So which ally gets deployed and to where? Because I think the pirates are now down in the hole with Pax as Pax begins to unlock the weapons locker. So which ally do you want to deploy and where?
Well, your suit's pretty hardened, isn't it, Briz?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, if I'm at the bay, I say open it, and I'll hit the attachment point. You get the pirates deployed after I get attached up.
Superb.
So, Briz, this is quite exciting. Describe what we see as you. I mean, is this leaping off the ship? And
I think it is the door opens, and I imagine that there are some like hooks on for the umbilicals, and there is a bit of alien silence in the void, and then the kick on of the maneuver pack and a leap across the gap, hitting, activating magnets, locking on, and with professional military trained precision, getting that umbilical locked on.
Is this an airlock at the hub or on the ring?
I think it has to be the hub for the sake of this.
Okay.
And I think actually this is like this is the umbilical for the pirates to go down. Like we've got that down, and I'm like, okay, we can let the pirates go, and then the rest of us can deploy to secondary position, if that's okay with you, Jort.
And
Good
I'm
plan.
imagining, Paxed acting as the jump coordinator, go as they, haul themselves
them
down
out.
this tether.
I just want to say I have my drone go with the pirates.
Okay. So the pirates, Karst and her 5 crew members, come down to where you've tethered Briz, and they go to work on the airlock.
Yeah.
Pleasant, your little kind of, it's an audio visual, isn't it? Am I right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what is it? Biohazard or something like that as well?
Yeah.
Hazmat.
Hazmat, yeah, fine. So it's good for these conditions. And experimental AI, great. So, and it's got far range, so it doesn't have to be kind of in the same room as you. So off it goes. Briz, they go to work on the door. What about Paxed? What's Paxed's role now that the incursion has begun?
Where the crew needs me, I could either man the command center to pilot the ship if need be. I can also grab a gun and go in with my my rocket boots and the classic spacesuit.
Fine. Jort, what about you?
Lord lives for the fun of battle.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jort, are you going to look to board at a different location as planned?
If Briz is going to stay here with the pilots.
I'm essentially kind of walking back along the thing with the magnetic boots to kind of look for our secondary entry location as they're working to go in.
Okay.
Once the pirates are out through the umbilical, okay, and they're working on that, we shut down the door on our side of the umbilical and get the button ready to pop that if they are like, well, let's go back to the ship.
Okay. So, Briz, what I'm seeing is you making your way up one of the spokes to the ring, while Jort is going to make the jump to reach the ring. Is that fair?
Sounds good.
So, Jort, we have boarding systems. You invested 1 in that. Congratulations, folks. Shoot a magnetic grapple across up to close range. Roll plus precision, Jort, please, to put a tether across. And then we'll have 2 tethers.
10. Spot on.
Wow. 7+. You make it across and establish a temporary airlock. Given that you're at an airlock, that's fine. And 7 to 9, no downside for you at all. So there you are. You are at probably an emergency airlock on the ring, and working to get into that. Pleasant, are you leaving the hazmat drone with the pirates or with Briz?
With the pirates.
Okay.
With instructions to analyze their activities, and if anything seems strange, ping my conscious attention.
Fine. So Paxed, the choice is yours. Are you following Jort down that tether or staying aboard the ship with Pleasant?
I feel like my talent as a pilot is probably more useful on the ship. But Pleasant, are you staying on the ship as well?
That is certainly my plan. Yeah, I'm going to shoot him with a big gun if I need to.
Well, we have a Briz with his combat armor and our warrior Jort. I think they will be fine.
Agreed.
Okay.
So I go to the command center and sit behind the steering wheel.
Fine. Just maintaining orientation and matching.
I comms to Jort. We get first pick now.
Of course. We are in danger.
So, Jort, are you going to go in, or are you going to wait for Briz to, make his way up the spoke?
I'm going to well, see, Briz has got an advantage because I gave him an advantage that he's not used. So it would be smart to wait for Briz. But, I mean, I do have the clandestine infiltrate, eliminate security open doors, which I think you're going to make me want to roll anyway, aren't you?
I am. I'm very happy for you to pass that advantage to the pirates, i.e. put anyone on the other side of that airlock at a disadvantage relative to them.
Oh, so if there's somebody on the other side, well, no, it's Briz's advantage. It's up to him what he wants to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm booking it to get to where Jort is at.
Fair enough. So if you're prepared to cash in that advantage, I will have you there before Jort goes through the door. So you go in together. Does that seem fair? Okay, Jort.
Side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
So Jort, yeah, I am wanting you to roll infiltrate. This is sneaking into an area, isn't it?
Yes.
Roll plus precision.
Don't get no better than that. 14.
Oh my goodness me. Boxcars +2. Wowza. On 7+, say which of these opportunities you gain. Pick one.
Well, eliminate security and open doors.
Fine. So you are in all is well with the world, and you have advantage relating to your success. So you're in, nobody knows you're in, you encounter anyone, you will be at advantage. Fair?
Indeed.
Okay. And over the comms comes Karst saying, okay, me hearties, we're in. No sign of anybody here. What's with this floaty fucker?
We're just
I-
getting in ourselves here. Oh,
I think Pleasant knows that they're talking about your hazmat drone.
Yeah,
Well,
not gonna
yeah,
answer
okay,
them.
there was what you know, what are you doing? You don't trust us or what?
no, you're pirates.
Yeah, and the drone will
You
be
don't
like,
trust us, do you? You like you don't actually seriously trust us, right?
The pirates split, Pleasant.
Mhm.
3 of them go up one spoke. There's a lift of sorts, and 3 go up down the other spoke. Yeah, there was nobody in the hub area or the other side of that airlock. Which way do you want to send the
Interesting.
drone?
Well, I think I would have it make. Well, that would probably ask me. Which way did Karst go?
Up.
Okay, follow Karst then. We will amend previous instructions.
Yeah, I mean it's up in all. It's down in all directions actually, but you know what I mean. So she goes that way. The others went the other way. You send the drone with her. Jort, you're in. You come out the other side of the airlock into a corridor, which it's a station. It looks like it's it's hardly luxurious. This isn't some kind of leisure spa. What is it that worries you when you come through that airlock?
Well, it's got to be half-eaten bodies on the floor.
I am certainly prepared to have body parts on the floor.
They look eaten to me.
Briz, what's your reaction to that? Yeah, finally,
Ooh.
cannibalism. Yeah, we had a request for cannibalism.
I pause and I say, that's what we call in the military not a good sign.
And I'll lick my hammer. Combat is in the air.
I did want
I
to
can
know,
taste
George,
it.
if you're stripping out of the suit or whether you're going to go with disadvantage on physical activities because of the spacesuit. Of course, Briz doesn't have that disadvantage because he's.
No, of course I can't show off my manly chest if I'm in a suit.
Okay. I thought we might have had a Jort in a spacesuit by now on the illustration.
Oh, you'll have to give me some time on that one.
No.
Pleasant. You're covering it. The hazmat is kind of, following Karst and 2 of her oppos. Anything else you want to do?
I think it's just sit tight at this point. I mean, yeah, I think right now it'd be a mistake to try anything else.
Okay. What about
Hey.
Paxed? Oh,
Hey, Paxed.
Briz,
Um,
Briz.
Can I quick beam you something we're seeing here just to maybe get your perspective on it? And I think
And-
the old style, 2K resolution camera goes across to
Oh my God! Is
yeah.
this? What happened?
We don't know yet, but I wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Well, maybe we should track the shuttle that left.
If you want to try and scan for it, Jort and I are gonna move forward, but I wanted to tell you.
Be on your guard, guys.
For what it's worth, Pleasant, Paxed, you have you've got a vector for it. So scanning for something that small is going to be very, very difficult, but you know where it's set off at a fair lick, and we're in a world where spaceships go in straight lines unless something really significant is happening. Yeah, so you could follow. You'd be rolling plus reactor, I think, to catch up if you wanted to.
Is there? I mean, even if we do want to follow it, we've got folks spread out all over now. So there'd be an interim between the decision and the execution. Is there anything we can do to get more information? Look in databanks, triangulate something.
Well, I mean, you're on the ship, so all you've got is the scanners, really.
Mhm.
to kind of do any kind of analysis of the station or its condition or anything else?
I mean,
Well,
the trajectory of the spaceship, that, as you said, it's in a straight line. Where is it aiming at?
Oh, fair enough.
That's what I'm getting at.
Oh,
yeah.
I beg your pardon. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll give you that. It's heading towards, let me just remind myself of our cluster. I think it is heading in to a different city ship, not the Zalia. Yeah? Whether the city ship will have moved by then is a different question, but you know, that's where it's heading. What are you thinking, Pleasant? No, it's more interesting than that. It's heading towards the ring. The ring gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where it's going. That's the logical place for it to go. So yeah, Pleasant, Paxed, think about whether you want to set off in pursuit. If you leave it very much longer, you're going to be rolling at disadvantage because it will have got a really significant high G advantage on you. Meanwhile, Briz, Jort has put you aboard into what looks like, you know, carnage. There's a blood spray up the wall. It's, you know, what?
This is
Not
an
good.
abattoir, Jort. Butchery.
Savagery. Yes, you are correct, Briz. We must find our prize and leave these pirates to deal with the savagery.
Briz, would you roll plus mine to gather information on this scene for me, please?
I would. That is all of a 5, I believe.
You are really nailing it today, guys. It's either 14s or nothing.
Doop, 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 doop.
Oh, 6+. Your investigation is a threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your situational plans. Okay,
Can I assist him?
I don't think so actually, because this is something Briz specific.
Okay, that's fine.
Briz, those limbs and that torso are in Jihun colors.
Oh boy.
And that head, you kind of, how do we see you examining the head, turning it towards you?
I imagine it is picking it up and turning it a little so I can get the face on it.
That's Halia Jihun. You went to school with her.
Oh, buddy, this is a high level installation. This is. We need to move fast because if we get caught here, we are going to be in serious fucking trouble.
And conveniently, the price you play is a 19, which says a surprising development complicates your quest. Don't you just love the way the fates do conspire?
They
So
do.
yeah, so the clock appears to be running, Briz, does it?
Yes, we need to get moving. Let's hoof it, Jort. Let's get to a terminal. Let's see if we can scan where there might be valuables. Let's get there and get back out.
Okay, so Jort, there will be some terminals along this kind of main ring kind of corridor. What do we find you doing?
I think this is a hack in and gain some information. Is it? So that's with infiltrate, but is there much difference from the normal gain information?
I think there's, I don't know, that's an interesting question. I suppose that you can't gather information doesn't hack into a system. That would be go in and examine the contents of this desk. It would be carry out this experiment to work out X, Y, or Z. So I think this is hack into the system. Because I'm going to assume the Jihun don't just leave everything sitting on an open disk. So let's have you roll plus mind.
That's a 6 and a 3 plus 1, the big 10.
Say which of these opportunities do you want gain information on this one?
Yeah. I mean, is it all those under that one dot? I think if not, they'd be separate lines, wouldn't they? recon game information and scout layout. I mean, they would be separate lines if they were separate things.
Yeah, and if I wanted this to run across 3 pages, it might. But no, do you want to get a sense of the layout, or do you want to gain some information?
Gain some information of what has happened here.
Okay, I think that what you see is signs of conflict. You know, I guess you pull up a video clip. Maybe it's Halia, you know, screaming into the camera, saying, "I don't know what's happened. They've got out. They something's gone terribly wrong. We're going to try and evacuate. But oh no, here they come, and blood spatter."
So no pew pew.
No. Maybe
People with
too
large brains cause big problems.
Maybe you did hear some firing in the background, but that firing probably amounted to someone trying to protect her rather than anything else. Briz?
Let's find where her office is. It's probably where the most valuable pieces of salvage are. Let's get there. Let's get what we can. And let's get the F out of here.
And then over the comms, you hear, well, I think let's have your hazmat drone pick it up. Pleasant. You know, Karst has come out onto the corridor. They're working down their corridor. They're sweeping and clearing. And then around the curve of the station kind of corridor comes running someone in what looks to be fatigues of some description, with what looks like a kind of cleaver, running at the hazmat drone and Karst is saying, "What the fuck?" And then they, what do you do, Pleasant, if anything?
So Karst just opens up on this person, and
yeah,
they're no longer.
Well, I want to know what you are telling the drone to do, because at the minute I'm concerned about whether the drone is in danger.
I mean, I don't think it can do anything to affect any of the humans in the situation, so it would have its own algorithm to get out of the way.
Yeah, I think probably fall back, because it's more valuable that it returns to you. More importantly, it returns to you than anything else.
I don't think it has any direct combat applications.
I think it's got a manipulator arm.
Can poke people annoyingly. Yeah, that's
poke. Yeah. Paxed, what about you when you know, you see this come over the screen in ops?
Well, Paxed has actually put all the energy on the reactors and messages over the comms. Guys, we will pick you up in a second. We need to we need to really stop this ship. Be back in a minute.
Pax, what? That's not what I meant.
Do not worry, Briz.
Well, so Paxed, let's have you roll. I said, you know, if you don't go now, it's going to be disadvantage. So you're rolling reactor at disadvantage. 3 dice.
What? That's
take the bottom 2 and add 1 for the power of your reactor.
I think he wanted to go straight away, but we took his time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
That's
that
why
was
I leave
now
the
for
guys
Pax.
behind.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can just wait.
Okay, 2d6 plus 1. Go for it.
2d6 plus 1. Let's go.
And these have been going really well.
It is a 9.
It's
That's okay.
a 9. Okay.
If pleasant helps or hinders, that could change.
Okay, so 7+, you choose whether to outrun them or overtake them. So it's overtake. So you are closing on them, yeah?
Pleasant, are you helping or hindering?
Well, that is
no,
interesting.
I'm afraid this is just the quality of the reactor. It's how much power you can squeeze out of it. So I don't think there's a help or hinder here.
I thought they can, you know, the life support, put the life support onto the reactor. Ignore the shields.
Well, the shields are really ablative. So on 7 to 9, split 3 harm between crew and the reactor, or accept the outcome of a 6-.
Let split harm between the crew.
So that's
or-
you two
Yes,
and the reactor.
and the
So,
reactor.
Yeah. So, but that 3 can go any way. You can take all 3.
Mhm.
The reactor could take 1, and each of you could take 1, or there's only 1 that the reactor can take.
I
I
like
suppose
the idea.
2 would take it out of commission.
I like the idea that we take the brunt. That maybe Pext is in the reactor room, manually shoveling, I don't know, energy cores into the system, which gets me something, not coal, burns.
I mean,
I don't know.
a simpler solution, just that the G you have to pull.
Yeah, but 3 is a bit difficult to, because
Distribute.
the G should be,
Well, yeah, but
distributed evenly.
some of you are better at this than others. One, you got to your
I
crash
take the
chair before
2.
he did. Yeah,
Yeah,
you take the 2.
I take the 2 harm.
Okay, so you'll find that there are 3 stress boxes on the sheet down on row 32. You fill the first 2. Pleasant, you fill the first 1. And out of the we have to see out of one of the ports as Briz and Jort are working their way around this ring, the Chimera kind of drive lights up and it's off.
Do not worry, Briz. I have escaped from a whole planet. A small station is no problem.
Keep your suit ready close by in case we need to vent this entire station.
Oh, so is Jort carrying the suit with him as you explore?
I think so. That's only 1 slot, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So he's tagged on. He's just got it tied around his neck, dragging the spacesuit. Okay. So Briz, you pass what appears to be some kind of lab, and then an office with Halia Jihun on the door.
Let's crack that office open and see what we can lift.
Oh, thank God, says someone inside, and we'll take a break there, I think. Shall we say until 5 past the hour?
Sounds good.
Okay, here we go. So back from a commercial break with, oh, thank God! And of course, we will see out of that port behind her, the tethers to the ship just floating. So what do you do? Briz, Jort? Let's start with Jort.
Jort will defer to Briz.
Briz, Jort defers to you. What happens next?
I could crush her with my hammer.
I say, what is your rank in this station hierarchy? What's the name of the family? It's
Jihun.
Jihun. What is your rank in the Jihun organization right now?
I put it in the chat. I'm just a technician. And she's dressed in a jumpsuit, fairly anonymous, but it has the.
So you're not
Jihun
managerial
family
at
crest.
all?
No, I was just hiding. Are you the rescue party?
I look at her and I say, there is no rescue party.
What? You have to help me. You have to help me. You have to help me.
If we are going to do that, we need to have you show us around this office.
I just hid here.
I'm going to pause and I'm going to say, if you would like to get out of here safely, you're going to help us scavenge valuables.
Okay.
And then you're going to direct us where we can get you a spacesuit.
Okay. At the idea of a spacesuit, that suggests off the station. That's fine.
That's in part, our assisting you is in part based on how much we can actually ransack from here.
Are you after valuables? Kind of cash valuables or information, Briz?
I think we're starting with cash valuables, and then maybe we'll work our way to information.
Jort, what about you? Because Briz is pointing to the at things and saying, okay, to this one, pick that up, pick that up. And there are some nice kind of art pieces on the shelves. There's maybe an expensive pen set on the desk, stuff like this. Jort, what's your
Pens are only
interest
good
in?
for shoving in people's eyes, and art is only good for rich people with too much time. George will gather computer information that is valuable.
Okay. Do you want to just gather information here, or do you want to hack in? I mean, I'll go with whichever one you want.
I
Because I
think
think
hacking would
probably
deliver more information.
fine. I think hacking will provide, something that isn't superficial. So fair enough. Let's have you sit down at the desk and get the terminal up and start it going.
I could deploy
Roll.
Jort with glasses. I have a picture of Jort with glasses.
Geeky Jort. So roll plus mind, I guess.
That's okay. That's 8.
8 on a 7 plus. Say what do you want? Information?
Yes.
Yeah. This station is a joint enterprise with the Shattered Sky. The Shattered Sphere, sorry. The SETI Row significant techno priests. And it appears to be interested in the creation of viruses. Does that seem
Nasty.
interesting?
Yeah.
And I'm just checking out the 7 to 9. You hear someone running down the corridor towards this room. What do you do, John?
I will inform Briz, who has a large gun.
Riz, do you want to give up on collecting, expensive knickknacks, or? Oh, you are muted.
I point to the tech and I say, grab that, and that.
Yeah. And, she's got all this stuff. And then
Find a bag. Come on.
Okay. She's ransacking drawers, looking for a bag to put stuff in. And then, Briz?
I open the door.
And a crazed individual is throwing himself at you. What do you do?
Butter.
Okay, now
If they are too close,
yeah,
then I am grabbing them and snapping their neck.
because I wanted to give you a chance to use that new martial arts move, which allows you to use precision up close and personal. So
Yes.
so let's apply the basic move engage to catching them and throwing them against a wall in pieces.
All right. I have, of course, managed to immediately close the dice room because we went on break. It's the thing I always do.
It is neat.
So that is a 10.
That is a 10. So on a 7 plus, you choose if your target takes harm or is disadvantaged.
Harm.
Okay. No 7 to 9, 10 plus. You say if your target if your target is injured, incapacitated, retreating, pinned, surrendering, dead.
Let us go with dead.
Okay.
Sometimes dead is better.
You literally catch him by the head and throw him, and there's a kind of as he hits the wall. Because that powered armor has to be worth something, doesn't it?
What does he look like?
I think a frothing at the mouth human is probably what I would describe him as. The eyes were kind of just wild, and he's in a kind of a blank kind of khaki jumpsuit.
I turn around to the tech and I say, how is this virus passed?
I don't know.
Airborne?
I just do air conditioning. I just do air conditioning.
What? I'm asking for your assessment based on what you have seen visually, not your technical expertise.
Okay. I I, th- th- I think they just broke out of the lab. But I really don't know. I just hid when all hell broke loose. The security team started shooting people and stuff.
Can you hit the air conditioning from here?
Yeah, and she
Okay.
goes to the panel on the wall that has one of those little flip down that allows you to alter temperature and stuff.
All right. I want you to drop this to near zero in here.
Oh, okay. And she goes onto the computer and starts.
I would first grab that code off the rack,
Okay.
and then I would do that.
Meanwhile, Pleasant and Horst, you have caught up with this fast mover, and it is kind of one of those trips,
Glad.
and it's fast moving, targeting or aiming towards the ring gate, and it's small. It's a shuttle to all intents and purposes. What do you do?
Disable the what's it called? The drive.
Okay. Pleasant. Are you up with this? Because I think if Paxt is at the console controlling, attitude and the rest, you have the weapons and sensor systems in front of you. Are you content to try and disable this thing?
Yeah, I mean, we abandoned our colleagues for it, so yeah, we better get that done.
Okay.
We look
So
really foolish otherwise.
I'll tell you now, if you unleash your main weapon, your energy cannon on this, you will blow it to atoms. So I think this is about getting up close and personal, and with the point defense turrets, trying to just take out the drive. Yeah. So Pleasant, I think that's you on that console. When you attack something, roll plus hardware.
Oh, okay, that's my skill. Got it.
Yeah.
So much hardware today. Let's get it. 11.
Oh, you guys, you're killing me. On a 7+, you choose whether, sorry, wrong one. On a 10+, you inflict harm as established on the target. So you do minor harm, which is enough to disable the drive for now. Yeah, they can do some work. They can begin to get that back online. So it continues to coast, so it's still traveling, but it is no longer able to escape you. What's the plan now that you've slowed it down, Pleasant?
How much do we know about what's happening at the station?
I think that the lag is going to begin to become a problem in a bit. I think from the hazmat drone, you are still getting choppy images because whoever that was that charged Karst and the other two raiders did not go down under that hail of bullets. He kept coming. And so I think that what you've got is a jumbled set of views as the hazmat drone is trying to kind of stay out of the way of trouble. And there is at least one of those pirates down.
Okay.
Pleasant. If the virus is on the ship and is on the loose, we have to do something about it.
But probably not open it would be the thing I would say that we don't want to do.
Let's hail the ship and tell them that they either stop or we blow them to smithereens.
Yeah, I get on there and say we're either here to help you or detain you. Well, whichever one it is, please make it easy on us.
I think this sounds like manipulate them to describe them surrendering right now, is it?
Works for me.
Yeah, so let's have you roll to manipulate them with roll plus influence.
That one's influence. That one's a 7.
Most run thing. 7+, you succeed. They do what you asked or view you as you'd hoped. So on a little screen or by the console pops up a guy in what you will recognize from library data, Jihun jumpsuit. 79 GM says if it's fleeting, it won't last. You need to do something else. You need to do something else to fully win them over. I think he says this is Security Chief Itan. How do I know you just won't kill us?
Kind of look over at Pax, like, are you gonna kill him?
If they do what we tell them, we won't. But it seems as if they are very foolish.
You know, he may have a point on that one. What's
He's looking for guarantees, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I can't guarantee you anything. You might be a vector of a horrible disease, and we would have to kill you.
No, absolutely not. My team and I maintained strict biohazard arrangements before we left the station.
Well, that's
Who's on your team? Who's on board the ship?
I'm security chief. I have 2 of my team with me.
Surrender now, or we will start disassembling your ship piece by piece. And we do a let's shoot across the bow, as they say. Are they because I have this move, which is something with victims.
Yeah.
Are they considered victims in this situation?
I think they are considered vulnerable victims.
Mm-hmm.
So you could roll with precision if you told me what it is that you're doing here.
I want them to, let's say, I hate the fact that the half of the screen are stupid pictures and I can't never find my moves. Where are they?
You're down on row 24, I think. Prey, when you take from a victim the GM agrees is vulnerable, roll plus precision.
Yeah, as I said, I shoot across the bow and say, I will disassemble your ship with you on board if you don't comply.
Let's roll the dice and see whether that pushes the response to Pleasant in a good direction.
26. Ouch. That is a 5. Precision. What's on precision? Well, good news is precision is +2, so I've got a 7.
On 7+, you choose to take their stuff, their life, their secrets, or their confidence, or something else you think is reasonable.
I would like to take their confidence.
Yeah, I thought you might. On 79, the GM chooses 1. You make an enemy which matters now or later.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably Jihun security are not going to be your friends next down the road. But I think that Chief Itan kind of says, okay. What do you want us to do? We can't slow down because you blew our drive out.
Can we tow them?
That what you'll need to do is to come up close to them,
mm-hmm.
and then turn round and use your drive to decelerate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that does sound to me like when you push your vehicle Paxed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's have you roll plus hardware.
That's not my strong suit, though. Let's see. It's an 8.
It's an 8. 7+. Choose the nature of your success. Get somewhere hard to reach. Take someone by surprise. Dramatically dodge imminent harm. I think it's get somewhere hard to reach, which is pointing in the right direction,
mm-hmm.
so you can now decelerate both ships.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem fair? On 79, but you end up on dangerous ground or a challenging situation that the GM describes. You are... The risk is now that when you set your drive back towards the station,
mm-hmm.
you could do some harm to the ship because its superstructure is not really equipped to deal with this kind of process.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Sounds
seem
fair.
fair?
Yes.
And because I think what we will have seen is the pair of you and Etan and his team, getting tethers once you're aligned, getting tethers and dragging you together. And then once you're fixed, then you begin to maneuver for the, yeah, exactly. So I think there's time and motion here, and there's some risk to the superstructure of your ship. Do you take them aboard or leave them in the shuttle?
Pleasant, we leave them in the shuttle, don't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
trust their hazmat. I don't know. I don't trust them that they are not infected.
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
check their PPE myself before we just take their word on it.
Jort, Briz, there's this guy with a broken neck in the corridor. Jort, you've got some information out of the system, I think, such as it is. And Asher has a bag full of valuable knickknacks.
Ah,
And she has reduced the temperature.
Okay. Point us towards where the spacesuits are. Let's double time it.
I think probably the nearest one is back the way you've come, because you came in through an emergency lock. There
Okay.
will be at least one emergency suit you would expect in a
I'll
locker
take-
beside it.
Point, Jort, you come up the back in case they come behind us. We'll keep this person in
And of
between
course,
us.
that's when Karst comes over and says, "What the fuck's going on here? What have you dropped us into? We're retreating to the hub. We're not staying here."
I don't reply.
Uh,
I do the signal of keep comms quiet, Jort.
Now, Jort,
I leave the message on read.
Jort, my recollection is that you are loyal to the Sword Brotherhood, aren't you?
I am.
What's your feeling about abandoning Karst and her survivors on the station?
I know your heart is cold, Briz, but we cannot leave them. We got them into this situation. We must show honor and strength.
Point taken. Let me get this person a suit, and then why don't you contact them and figure about rallying them to a meeting up point. Inform them that the ship is not here, and so they need to be killing whoever they find.
And I
Who is
think
not us.
over the comms, you will hear kind of, "Okay, there's another one," brr, brr, as they fall back towards the hub. I think they'll fall back the way they've come. So the hub is where they're going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talk to him, Jort.
Sword Brothers, this is Jort. Our ship has departed, but it will return soon. You must stand your ground.
Is that Cancri Jort?
Indeed. Cancri Jort is here with you. Strong in your hearts now.
We didn't know you were along, Jort.
I am here with my brother, Briz.
Okay, look, we're going to fall back to the hub airlock and hold position there. You come to us, I
Don
think.
your suits and get ready to leave the base.
Okay, I mean, that might be difficult, Jort. We're under some pressure here.
Jort will come to you. Stand by the lock.
You get Asher into a suit with her gunny sack of goodies, Briz.
Yeah.
Jort transits the airlock, and I think probably begins to make his way down the spoke towards the hub. And over comms, Asher is saying, "Okay, where's the ship? Where's the ship?"
It is on its way.
Oh, we got Jort in a suit now. Yeah, thank you. You must share a link to that software because I think I love the idea of dressing my character differently as games proceed. Okay, so Briz, are you following Jort as he, kind of, because of course this is uphill towards the
Yeah.
hub.
Absolutely. I keep this person moving because they're carrying the stuff.
Are you
And
tethered to Usher?
yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah.
So
and
Jort,
watching for hostiles.
fine. I think, Jort, I do need you to roll to face the challenge of clambering up here. So face danger, but this is undoubtedly strength and endurance to climb uphill this 100 meters towards the hub. Oh no, actually no, it's downhill. It's downhill. Forget that. It'll be 0G at the hub. So yeah, I'm just being foolish. So you can let the tether out and just make your way down. No rolls required. And I think the pair of you will get to the airlock. Jort first, Briz and Asher a little way behind. There is no sign of Karst and the rest of her crew. They must still be inside. Let's cut to Pleasant and Paxed. I suppose my question is, how quickly do you want to get back to the station?
There a reason we would want to do it anything less than as quick as we can?
Well,
Perhaps.
just that potential risk to the
ship.
superstructure of the ship.
I think we have to take the risk, Pleasant. They were in distress when we left.
Yeah, because I
And
think you're probably now getting some feed
Yeah.
from Jort and Briz and from the hazmat drone, if nothing else.
Yeah, which I cannot fully monitor, but the things I'm screaming out to Paxed are probably not comforting.
And that experimental AI hazmat drone, Pleasant, I think is now operating on its own subroutines, which is duck and cover, duck and cover. So yeah, let's have you roll to make good time back, which I think is the old reactor again, guys. How many G's do you want to pull? So let's have Paxed roll +1 for pushing the reactor.
Let's do this. Roll. 8. It's a 9. 7 to 9.
9, 7+. I think that you're going to get back in not an enormous amount of time. 7 to 9 split 3 harm between crew, the reactor, or accept a 6-. I think that I'm going to apply. I talked about superstructure. I'm going to apply minor damage to the hull in the shape of shields now have begun to buckle in certain parts of the ship. So I've reduced that from 2 to 1 temporarily. And how do you want to split the 2 stress between the pair of you?
So we should probably learn about the injury rules before we answer that question.
Stress you can recover reasonably quickly. Wounds get trickier.
So I see there's 3 obvious boxes of stress and then
Yeah.
kind of a phantom box next to the number 3.
Yeah, that phantom box is there's an improvement around force, as I remember. Force 2+. You can be butcher.
One of us is going to be at 3 stress by the end of this. What happens then?
Nothing until you take another stress, then it turns into a wound.
Oh, easy peasy. Okay, I'll take both.
Oh, wow.
And I think you see what little color in Pleasant skin gets drained out, and the flesh is pulling against the bones that are now very prominent in their face, and there's definitely a look of just contained nausea in the eyes.
And Pleasant is a waif compared to Dr. Bransom. So you are heading back, but Jort and Briz, that's not instant. The question is, what are you going to do? You're at the airlock. Ashok is witter about, you know, where you said the ship would be here. Where's the ship? Where's the ship?
I say, so we are waiting for the ship and we are waiting for the rest of the team. I don't say pirates, to get here. Right now, I suggest that you stay in that place and be quiet.
And she makes, you know,
Perfect. That's so good. Jort,
what's the plan?
stay here with Asher. I'm going to move forward and see if I can help the pirate, help our allies get here. Okay?
Indeed. Let me see if I can insert you into that situation.
Any assistance would be appreciated.
So this is let's get the Vanguard going. I think this is coordinated plan to gain control of the situation, do you think, or seize control of the situation?
What do you think, Jort?
It's a bit of both, really, isn't it? It's not 100% in either category here.
Roll plus force then, because I mean you are inserting someone in powered battle armor.
Yeah. I want him to go in there, guns are blazing, and you know, cow the pirates and control it.
Okay, so let's have you roll plus force then.
Wouldn't matter either way. They're still 10 plus.
Okay, so 7 plus, choose up to 2 tactical successes. I think this could count as small unit tactics if you go in with him.
Jort does not stray from battle. So, yeah, small unit tactics. Let's have 3 of them.
Okay, so you insert Briz to where you want him to be. Do you insert yourself to where you want to be?
It's always nice having an advantage roll, isn't it? So,
It is.
yeah, let's
so
have
both
that.
of you advantage. And what is your third one?
Can you keep this other person safe?
Yeah, can we modify put a threat in your crosshairs to remove a threat from somebody else's crosshairs?
Yeah, something else the GM agrees is possible, practical, and reasonable. Yeah. I think that you put Asha in the airlock with the door closed, so she's got cover. Does that seem fair?
Seems
Fine.
fair.
So Asher is not going to be a problem, but both of you have advantage. And when you get in there, it's carnage. Only 4 of the Karst and 3 of the pirates are still upright. One of them is clearly in trouble, and there are 2 of these guys just, you know, they're bleeding, they've been wounded, but they're like monstrous in.
I will light them up.
Okay, let's
and I will focus on that, trusting that Jort will either follow up behind me on that or extricate their friends.
So when you aim to pick off foes at range, roll plus precision is your combat move, I think.
Yes, we'll roll this with advantage.
You
I
will.
want to check one thing here. That does that. Okay. That is a 14.
On 7 plus, the GM describes how the enemy attacks actions. So you know, the pirates are trying to hold them off because they've got up close and personal. And these 2 madmen, you know, whatever they are just tearing at them with their hands, just tearing, you know, and biting them and attacking them with anything they can pick up. Then you describe how you defend yourself or put them under pressure and then take them out. Victory
1
is yours.
pop, 2 pops, 3 pops. I take the shots carefully controlled to split their skulls open to get them off of the pirates in as controlled a way as I can, and to kind of stand there stock still. And I say, and now, Jort, would you please help them
we have to have we have to see the inside of this power armor, don't we? We have to see, you know, you look at one of them and they're outlined in red, and then poof, and then
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, little reticle does that thing, that little video game thing where it shrinks, and then when it hits that point, I pull the trigger.
Okay. And there is no downside on a 14. Surprise, surprise. You know, all of the pirates have been wounded in some way. One of them has lost an arm.
George,
I
I'll let
will
you give the
wheel
orders to him.
in with my battle hammer.
No, the bad guys are all gone. Briz just popped all three of them. Just pop, pop, pop.
Briz, you are a poor man. You have denied me of battle lust.
I turn and I go, no, I'm giving you the chance to be the hot, sweaty hero to a hot pirate leader there. So if you would grab them up and get them on the ship, everything will be a-okay.
You are a man that thinks deeply.
So I think what I'm seeing, Joe, is you're tying some kind of tourniquet on the stump of one of the raiders' arms, you know, and with Karst, you're carrying him while the other two kind of other one actually limps along behind you, and helping them into suits. And Asher, you know, they go into the airlock and there's, oh my God, says Asher. What a hell?
Over comms, Briz, do you think the wounded are infected?
Let me get my comp set. I think that there is a chance of that, but I don't think we're going to talk about that until we get everybody into the cargo bay.
Do we have the hazmat drone with us?
You do have the hazmat drone. But so you know, it is slave to Pleasant.
Yeah,
and shortly Pleasant will be in range.
Yeah, I do turn to the drone and I say, drone, please alert when Pleasant is in range.
Beep.
All right, let's hold tight. Let's set up a covering fire positions, stand our ground. When the ship gets here, we're going to evac ASAP into the cargo bay.
I think that this is quite a decent size airlock. It's the main airlock on the station. So I think all of you can be in there with the station side sealed, ready to leave through the other side, cycle through it. And then there is a beep. Pleasant in range. And Pleasant suddenly, you know, and there's Briz, and you know, all this chaos as the hazmat drone just scans around this airlock.
Pleasant, can you hear me, Pleasant? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So here's the situation that I need you to take care of, and I'm kind of moving so that other people can't hear me. So,
well, I think you can have a, you know, confidential crew circuit. I don't think
I say we've got some people with us, some of the pirates that are still alive, and one person from the station. Can you do with your drone a scan for infection on these people?
I will answer whatever I am allowed to do with that. I know it can take samples of some sort, so I will answer that to Briz.
Yeah, I think that it can take samples. I don't think it has much in the way of an analysis itself.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I want you to get all of us, get the ship here, get all of us into the cargo bay and lock all of us down, and that includes me and Jort. And then once that's done, I need you and Pax to start running whatever tests and scans that you can do. Because Jort has a metric shit ton of information that this was a virus research station and there was an outbreak which resulted in rage cannibal zombies.
It's pretty standard. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, okay. I mean, it's not. Anyway, I'll get the samples.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
Hey, if you see any equipment that we could repurpose on the way out.
That would require us to go back into the
Yeah,
base,
sorry. I
which
don't know
is
what I was
not
thinking.
happening. Yes,
Yeah.
but there is a lot of. I know you're interested in blood and blood samples. Jort does have a lot of information that he has
There's a lot
retrieved.
of blood.
Oh, that too.
He's full of the stuff.
Yes.
Have at him.
And I'll just interrupt the conversation and say, and Briz has a very nice pen set.
It's a lovely pen set.
Is that a euphemism, George? I don't understand what you're saying.
That is a very big word. It was a pen set,
Okay,
my friend.
shouldn't have.
I cannot be more normal than that.
I forgot you don't get figurative language. I'm sorry.
And I think probably, Joe, we see you looking out of the port on the outer door of the airlock, and you can see the drive of the Chimera as it just begins to slow. But through the glare of the drive cones, it seems to have something clamped to the bottom of it. It looks like it has it doesn't look like your shuttle, but it looks like a shuttle has been somehow tied to the bottom of the Chimera.
More loot, Briz. I have secured more loot.
Excellent.
So my question is, do you load the survivors, i.e. Karst, her 3 crew members, and Asher, and the pair of you, into the cargo hold, or onto the shuttle?
But the shuttle's joined to us by an umbilical, isn't it?
It is, but I'm just curious about your isolate. You've got 2 isolation options, is what I'm putting to you.
Do we think that there are other people on the shuttle?
There are 3 people on the other shuttle.
Okay, then let's stick with, if it's okay with you, Jort, let's stick with the cargo for the moment.
Okay,
I would
'Cause
agree
I
with
don't-
that as well.
fine. I'm not going to make
If
you
you're not
roll
infected, you don't want to get infected by them.
Yeah.
so I'm not going to make you roll for establishing a tether and getting back to the ship. I think we cut to the survivors, Jort, Briz, and the others coming in through the cargo hold, which is actually a deck in the shuttle. It serves both purposes. In your shuttle, so you're aboard. Paxton Pleasant, what's the nature of the conversation you're having, knowing that about 4 decks down, you might have infectious folk? What's the plan?
We're getting those samples from the drone. It's going to take some time though, because it's got to be every person, and
So
Yeah. They're not getting on board. Even Jordan and Briz have to wait for a second.
okay. So what I'm imagining then is that the hazmat drone is taking blood samples or picking up blood samples that Jort and Briz are taking using the the medical aid kit that's on the wall of the shuttle cargo bay, and then pops up to the kind of crew compartment on the shuttle. There's an airlock there that cycles through to get the hazmat drone into the ship proper, with appropriate decontamination, because I think a hazmat drone has to be capable of that. Yeah. And that leaves Pleasant and Paxed with a set of blood samples. What are you doing with those, Pleasant and Paxed?
I want the thing scene where we put a hot iron into the blood samples. No, I'm joking. Nobody gets the reference, obviously.
Of course, I get the reference. I'm actually going to do CPR on Sunday. Cut your hands off.
No, we are checking the samples. I don't know.
I've got a move for that.
You have. It's called
wow.
examine.
Yeah,
Pleasant is going to
subject
examine.
or anomaly.
Now, I don't think you have anything on the ship to help. You didn't invest in much of a med bay, did you? No.
No, I was going workshop instead.
Do you want to swap those about?
I mean, I guess so, because that seems to be where we're headed.
Yeah, I just because you didn't know what you were going to need. So I'm
Okay.
very happy to swap that about.
So were there no ticks in workshop?
None. Well, there was one in workshop and none in medbay. I've switched them around.
Oh, you already did. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to do it, and I'm like, I don't see it in workshop anyway.
Just so we've got something that looks like a biolab rather than a, nuts and bolts drive fixer. So it's not much, but it's something. I don't think it's enough to give you advantage on examine, but I think fictional positioning gives you the ability to examine these. And we know that you're interested in viruses anyway, don't we, Pleasant?
Yes, it's a recreational pursuit of mine.
Yeah, recreation. Yes. What do you do in your spare time? This year. Okay.
And I will point out that I definitely have Briss's blood at this point. Just noting that. Just happen organically.
Yep.
So let's have you roll to examine. Roll plus mind.
That's a 12.
Well.
I mean, that's something I'm actually supposed to be good at. So
Okay. Yeah, it is. So 7+. Choose what you're looking for, and the GM will elaborate. A flaw, weakness, cause or origin, purpose or value, expected behavior.
I mean, I guess of those,
or a question related to those. I mean, they're
yeah. Like I'm wondering, do these folks show evidence of an unknown infection, which is probably cause or origin, I would imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I think that one of the pirates, one of the raiders, one of Karst's crew, the one who lost the arm, has a viral infection. Asher, the technician, doesn't have an infection, nor do any of the other raiders. You haven't yet got samples from the folks on the shuttle. So of the survivors, only the badly wounded raider pirate is infected with a virus that you don't recognize, except it is very similar to a virus you find in another sample.
Yes.
Briss's sample. And I'm going to give you a tick on your project on the basis of that. Downtime be damned. The virus that Pirate is infected with is a variant of the virus that Briss is infected with, the empathy virus.
Didn't go the same way. Or did it?
Pleasant, can you check for the original purpose of this thing? Was it meant to be do something good, or was it meant to be killing people?
I tell you what, look, I technically screwed the move by introducing a complication. So I'm very happy for you to get a second question.
Okay, yeah, that question.
Sorry, I wasn't really listening to the question.
Yeah, well, what was the original purpose of the thing? Is it
okay? I think that the virus that has infected one of Karst's crew is a variant of the original that infected Briss. You would need more equipment to know more than that. I think that's all you're going to find out about the virus at this point. Okay.
Fascinating.
It is.
But Briss is not infected with the pirate's virus, the station virus, nor is Jort.
You inform us, Pleasant, of this situation. Not the me infected,
not the you
pirate.
part. No, I do tell you. I think I would put it real. I'm not going to give you the information. I'm going to give you what to do.
Yeah,
it looks like we.
Tell me that one of the pirates is infected. That's what I need to know, right?
No, we're not, because you're going to start killing people. So I'm going to say we need to separate into 3 groups. And I give, how many people are there?
There's Asher, Karst, 2 pirate survivors, one of whom is infected, and then the crew, and then there's Eton and his 2 members of a security team on the shuttle.
But they are they're somewhere else, so I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm like okay, I want to split them up into pairs. We'll do Briz and I'll say Briz and Jord, I need you in this section. I guess, yeah, Asher and Karst into one, and then the infected and the unremarkable pirate into a third place. But then the idea is just before they go in, tell the unremarkable one, like get them to hang back so they stay in the same spot. So my whole thing here is I don't want anyone killing this person because they're infected. A, because underdog, and B, because I want to study them. But I don't want anyone with this person either. So I'm trying at the last minute separate them off from the herd.
Okay. I think I get that. Yeah, it's quite tricky this because in terms of places you can isolate people. So what I'm going to suggest is that Jort and Briz come back into the ship proper. Karst and Asher,
Or
the best place for them would be up on the EVA locker, because at least then you've got a bit of protection between them and you, and then the remaining 2 stay in the cargo bay.
I'm going to say, if it makes it easier, I have everybody go to one place, but in a specific order at a specific time, and I just don't let the last guy out.
Okay.
So he's in the cargo bay by himself.
Okay. Did we ever find out, Briz, how you became infected with the empathy virus? The circumstances, or are you unaware?
I believe that it was an engineered, badly managed attack by some kind of anti-capitalist group.
Okay, fine. Yeah, got that. Fine. I think that given that we're at that point, I think that we should just take a pause now and just have a break until on the hour. Yeah, 5-7 minutes, something like that. Okay, let's take a commercial break. So back from our final commercial break of this episode, to discover the crew dealing with the circumstances. I mean, Pleasant, I'm going to come to you because you're our technical, scientific genius. What are you thinking at the moment?
My theory is that I feel like, I don't know which way the arrow points, but like the Briz's virus and this one are more similar than different, and like 1A and 1B versions, I think. But a lot of it has to do with how it reacted to these subjects versus Briz. And that a bit of it's inherent to him and not just the changing around of where a few molecules are. That like maybe I'm trying to say it's more of a dosage reaction kind of thing. And that Briz could possibly, I don't know when these guys got infected, maybe that's going to happen to Briz in a few minutes. I don't know what's cooking away in his immune system.
I mean, there was an occasion early on where Briz did seem to not lose it entirely, but seemed to get very excited about the violence. I don't know, was there any connection we made there? And Pleasant, you are sharing all of this with Briz and the others?
Oh no.
No.
Okay. So as far as Briz and Jort and Pax are concerned, they're clear. The infected ones are now in isolation.
We've got one infected person.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to keep them protected, Pleasant?
Isolated, certainly.
So how many pirates have we got in total?
You've got 3 pirates.
And one of them is infected, the other 2 are clear.
Yes, Karst and 1 pirate are fine. 1 pirate, the one who lost his arm, is infected. And Asher Hendricks is fine.
Yeah, okay, and that is not a pirate, right?
No, Asher is a survivor.
At least for the time being. Yeah,
I-
I want to detain and observe. We need to see the course
Okay.
of this virus. Maybe I'll be able to cure him at some point. I wouldn't place bets on it, but we need to see how he reacts to it to make sure.
Karst. I want to get Karst to come here with Jort with me.
Fine.
And I go, neither of us came out well after that. Here's everything that I scavenged. Here's my estimate of splitting that 50-50. I've got it split into 2 piles. You can pick which of the 2 piles you want to take.
I think, Briz, I probably want you to convince here. I think you're pacifying here. You don't want this to turn
Yeah.
nasty. So I think it's roll plus influence
Okay.
to give me some idea of how Karst will react to this.
I have specifically brought Jort with me in case I need this boosted up. But an 11 is pretty good.
It's not bad, is it? So they'll do what you want, agree to your conditions, no downside. I think Karst is kind of happily surprised to have got away with her life.
Yeah. I say we're going to get you out of system, or if there's a place in system you want us to drop us at, we'll drop you out there. You take half of what we've got here. Your guy with the arm is infected with whatever virus was running around on that. We're going to keep him sedated, and we've got Pleasant, who has some science medical training, and we're going to see what we can do about that.
Is
now
he curable?
We don't know. I suspect that whatever happened so fast they didn't even have a chance to like start figuring out cures. That, I mean, all the video and shit that we have, but Jort, who is a genius, grabbed all of the technical information. We will give you a copy of that technical information for you to dispose of as you wish.
Okay.
But now here's the thing is, if you want to stay with us to keep an eye on what we do with that guy, you're welcome to, and we can drop your other 2 people off somewhere. You're a captain. I understand the decisions. We need to give you the space to do this, because this is an operation that did not go well for either of us.
No, she sees that. I think that probably she wants to be taken somewhere where she can rendezvous with members of the Brotherhood. That means a different system.
So we're gonna choose what system you want to. Let's give her a couple of options and say, what's the quickest path to a Brotherhood system?
I think probably in terms of, I think she wants to be taken to the belt of Leshen 6G. Yeah, because that's a single trip from where you are now at Seti Row.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems fine to me. But I'll check with Jort, Pleasant, and Paxed.
Does this seem like sensible stuff, Paxed?
It all seems good with me. Unless, Karst, which pile did you take? Was it the one with the pen set or without?
I think Karst is going to leave the pen set.
A wise choice, Karst.
Yeah, and she says, they're only good for stabbing people in the eye with.
You are very wise, Karst.
You have obviously never met a fountain pen aficionado. That's going to go for quite a bit.
Alun.
Go on, Paxed.
The last thing I want to say is, but I'll turn to Paxed. What's going on with those guys in the shuttle?
Flashback to a scene before when Pleasant was, investigating the samples and telling Pax that one of the guys is infected, I turn to Pleasant. I think we need to kill this person. Shoot him out into space.
Oh, is this you're talking about
The infected.
the pirate? Okay, so you're saying this is part of the previous scene before you answer Briz. Okay, got it. I'm with you. A lack of information is not going to help us. You're shooting knowledge out into space.
Well, I can tell you that the knowledge that I was acquiring when I was researching the slipstream led to the death of potentially millions of people. Releasing the virus can have catastrophic consequences. I cannot let you do this.
We're not releasing the virus. We have a live sample. It's out somewhere.
It's hubris. It can just, you can be as careful as possible. Nature is nature and finds a way.
I'm going to suggest that we cut to downtime, because it would seem these are the bases for some interesting scenes as part of downtime. Yeah, rather than kind of them getting used now.
But the last question is what to do with the shuttle that we also
the shuttle
acquired.
Is a different question. You're right.
Yeah. That we should resolve the problem. Well, before we do anything, Briz, we should determine whether or not they are infected, or have we done that about the people on board? No. And then my question to you, Briz, is what is your relationship with the Jihun? Are they your arch enemies?
I say the only reason that Jihun person there, and I point to that, is because that's an on the ground boots tech person. Anyone who is of any hierarchical status, any managerial status, is part of the problem and needs to have a bullet put in their head. So if you've got anybody on that shuttle who is important with the Jihun, they are complicit, and they are part of the capitalist system that crushes people underfoot and creates viruses to destroy populations. And so I would like to kill them. If there's anybody who's a worker grunt.
Well, I'm not sure how deep your ideology goes, but is the security detail blue collar or white collar? Or are they the fist of the fascist regime? Or are they just victims of the system?
Oh, no, they're the fist of the fascist regime. They're part of the military police complex. All cops are bastards.
Well, I'm not going to kill someone who is, at our mercy. But
oh, absolutely. I'm not asking you to.
Not gonna stop you.
Exactly. This is all a moot point until we've checked them. Till Pleasant has checked them for their viral status. Once we know that, then we can move forward in.
I agree.
So I'm imagining, Pleasant, as you're making transit, you're heading towards the ring gate to transit to Leshan. The hazmat drone takes a trip over to the shuttle, collects samples from all three, and comes back. I will tell you that it's very clear to those of you observing from the hazmat drone's feed that one of them is in a Jihun jumpsuit. He identifies himself as Security Chief Itan. The other two are Cancri security from the Shattered Sphere, because this is a joint project between Jihun and the techno priests of Seti Row. And
that'll make the choice more difficult for Paxed.
Well, I mean, the Cancrene security guys, they are indentured.
They are. But shall we test them?
Yes.
Pleasant, examine your new samples.
All right, same as before.
Yeah.
Just a 7 on this one.
Okay, 7+. Choose. So you want to know who's infected. None of them are infected. It does look like the security chief did maintain biohazard long enough to get on the shuttle. On a 7 to 9, the GM will introduce complication. I think I've done that already. We've got, Cancri 9 slave pen trained bodyguards from the techno priests on there with one would have to say, a middle manager in the Jihun organization.
I don't see a reason not to pass that on verbatim to the rest of the crew.
Let us free the slaves and they can join the Sword Brothers to refill their ranks. Therefore, our debt to the Sword Brothers is paid. And we keep the pen set.
Flawless victory.
George, can you even write?
It's for stabbing people in eyes.
Oh, I get it.
He could hack the system. He's a very bright man.
That's
His
true.
demeanor is different from his, capacities. Do we invite the 2 Cancri bodyguards across to the ship, leaving Security Chief Etan on the shuttle?
Sort of
Why not
speaking out of
give-
character, but listening to what Blizzard said. I mean, we could easily sort of solve this with a Vanguard setup, put a threat in your crosshairs. We bring him into the docking collar and Briz is lined up already to do his business.
I mean, you will not have any trouble disposing of Security Chief Ito if that is the crew's decision.
May I?
I wash my hands in, what is the term?
Blood.
No, that's not what I wanted to say. Innocence?
That a Judas hand wash or just a normal
or a
hand wash?
Pontius
I
Pilate?
wouldn't kill them. I wouldn't kill them. I regard them as blue collar. That probably didn't have a choice.
I look at you and I say, I understand what you're thinking, but this is a security chief on a black ops site. That's a coordinated viral creation set. This person is not blue collar. This person is a highly paid discretionary person who would have put a bullet in anyone. The only reason that these 2 Trancrids are with him is because he thought that they would obey them. Notice that he got nobody else out.
Might have a partner, kids, a dog. He has a private life. And I wonder if you even have free will, Briz. Because the virus is talking out of character. We know about the
Yeah.
I think that the virus is speaking through you. The virus is doing the killing. Briz would do that. Briz is a good man.
You don't know me, mister. Okay, now we are going to downtime stuff. So I think we are sort of going under that. So let's stop there.
So in order to keep this for downtime, are you taking the shuttle through the ring gate with you? Because at least it puts a bit of distance between the Jihun and the.
I have a suggestion. Should we get the pirates can have the shuttle?
Yeah.
For what I care.
Yeah, we'll hand that off to them when we get through the gate.
Well, they could go through the gate themselves then. Yeah. So you could go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Would you like to just give them the shuttle?
Decisions.
Because we've already got a shuttle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, practically it makes sense, but then it does bring up other questions of where the security chief's going to be. Like, I don't know
no. The security chief's not going anywhere.
And we're keeping the infected pirate.
Yes.
I think there is again a risk here of planning blight.
Okay.
So what I'm going to say is simple yes or no question. Are you taking the shuttle and the pirates where they want to go, or are you freeing them to use the shuttle to get there under their own steam?
I'm
I would
voting
say
for
we
free.
free them. Is my vote.
I
Yeah.
think downtime will be more interesting if we don't, because then there's still
That's what I'm
characters to
wondering, you
play
see.
with.
Yeah.
And
you
then we can
them at
free
the other
them
side.
after downtime as a
Yeah.
result of downtime or
Okay,
not.
cool.
Yeah, because we've got lots of potential points of friction here to explore in downtime.
Absolutely.
So, with all that in mind, then, there is the period of time in Slipstream, and we will do the cramped quarters as you emerge into Leshan 6G's Ringgate. So let's check out the downtime tab, cramped quarters. I keep tinkering with this. Hopefully it'll be more interesting than last time. When you emerge from the ring gate after 2 weeks trapped together in the disorientating slipstream, roll with any wealth modifiers, and those have changed. You are current. Oh, sorry, you are doing better than scraping by.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 1 away for refuel and resupply, but I'm gonna pay you 1, 2, 3 for the bounty. Oh, sorry, 2 for the bounty. Oh, no, I'm going to make it, I'm going to give you, no, it is 3. There we go. There it is 3. So you are currently breaking even, just at which point you roll downtime moves are at +2. Wow. So, does anyone, you may have some ideas about who you want to talk to about what. So do you want to sort out the order, or shall I just point at people?
I have no desires.
Yeah. I'll go first.
Fine, Briz, let's roll +2. Plus
Okay.
anything that's in your downtime modifier for cramped quarters. I don't know what's on your
Let's
character
look
sheet.
at that.
I think it's a disadvantage because you are also from a affluent background.
Yeah, it's a -1 mod.
Okay.
So I'm rolling at
so
+1.
You are.
That is an 11.
Oh, you're just cheating now, guys. So on a 7+, recover is described. Now, recover clears all the stress or 1 wound, or repairs 1 piece of personal equipment. I think that's what it says under ships and wealth.
Okay.
Yeah, heal or fix. So
All right.
I don't know if you've got any equipment that's stressed, Briz. You could clear that, or you can clear a stress, all your stress or 1 wound.
No. And we can't use that to fix the ship, right?
No.
Okay.
No. So that's on the 7+, and then choose 1 opportunity. Dig into library data, reveal a truth, frame a positive scene with someone in which they get to ask you about something, or embark on some study.
I think I do want to dig into the library data to see, like, maybe downloading the ship's logs and looking over the stuff that we got. And I want to see if we can get some names of Jihun people involved with this that we could, hand over to my rebel contacts.
I think I'm in a position to give you a name.
Okay.
Talia's sister. I will put her name in the chat. Her elder sister, Aokasaria Jihun. She's in the chat.
Then essentially my time is going to be spent putting together a portfolio to transmit to my contacts on that.
Fine. On a 10+, you get to have an extra recover come what may. But I don't know if that power armor just doesn't even ever get a chance to be scratched.
Yes.
Okay, with that in mind, who would like to go next? Or shall I point? Okay, Jort.
Okay, let's roll those dice.
Roll +2, unless there's something in your modifiers.
No, not that cramp quarters. It doesn't really affect me that much.
+1 to modifier, scraping by or desperate. You've just got out of scraping by, or you get another roll. Never mind. Okay, go for it. 2d6 +2.
So I rolled 7, so 9.
9. 7 plus recover. Don't know if
I
you
haven't suffered any wounds or
No.
equipment damage.
The irony is that the two people who were at the sharp end of an offensive operation took no harm at all. The guy's just sitting in the control cabin, gets stressed to all hell.
Just sitting. Yeah, right.
And then choose one opportunity, Jort.
Let's have a positive scene, reveal a truth.
With someone in which they get to ask you to reveal something about your past, personality, burden, beliefs, etc.
Let's have it with my good friend, Dr. Pax. Because he said in the past that he'd like to continue our conversations.
So, Pax, what do you want to find out about Jort?
Let me look at Jort's background. Where is it? Characters. Yeah, I remember that I asked you the last time. What did I ask you about the group that you were leading? I think.
And
you said,
yeah, you did ask me about it, and I said, really, I can't tell you too much.
Yes.
It was a secret. Yeah.
So I imagine that we are in. I looked at the floor plan of the ship, Alan. Very cool. I had a hard time getting my brain around, but it looks really cramped. There are these 4 beds, and they're really close together. So I think Pax sits on his bed and has an old movie projected by his AI on the wall, and he turns around to George and says, "George, what do you do in your spare time? Like, do you have hobbies? Do you relax sometimes? Watch a good film? Read a book?"
I polish my hammer.
Is that a euphemism?
It's a hammer.
I know.
Don't hit people with a euphemism.
I'm just fucking with you, George. Remember last time I asked you about the group that you were leading, because you're showing some really impressive tactical skills. That must be some kind of military group.
It was. We were resistance fighters on Cancri 9, fighting against the evil people that come to my planet and take slaves.
And how did you become entangled with the Brotherhood? Were you a pirate at some point?
We were cornered, my tactical team. Surrounded. 5 to 1 at least. We were fighting down to the last man. I saw no way out, so I called on the aid of the Brotherhood, and they came to our aid and slew them. And that is how I joined the Sword Brothers. For a while, I paid my debt to them, and now I am a free man.
I like that about you. You have a wild spirit, a free spirit. That's a good thing.
But it troubles me, Doctor. My friends that died that day, I feel it was my fault. I led them into that situation. Their loss bears heavy upon me.
I don't know, Briss. I think, war is hell. And I think that you did probably your best, because what I see is you make all the right tactical decisions. Maybe you were just outnumbered.
Outnumbered and outgunned. Maybe if you helped me get Brizz's armor, then I would be all powerful, and I would crush them.
I mean, if we have a workshop and I get like a blueprint or whatever it's called, a schematic of the armor, maybe we could do something. We need to get rich, George.
Yes, we shall all get rich, and Briz will have no need for his armor.
Well, it doesn't have to be like his identical armor. We can make a copy of the armor. So you both have one.
Excellent. Mine will be bigger, though,
Of course.
and therefore more powerful. You are a wise man, Doctor. You are a wise man indeed. I will sleep well tonight, knowing eventually I will have a bigger armor than Briz.
Before I close that scene, could I just ask, does the fate of the two Cancri bodyguards therefore get sorted out in this scene? Because their origin is where Jort comes from, and the suggestion was that they could just be sent off with the cast and her
They
survivors.
should join the Sword Brothers as I did, Doctor, and I hope you will support me.
I think they should be freed. They should take the shuttle and go wherever the fuck they want.
With the Sword Brothers in the shuttle.
Of course.
Excellent. You are with me then, Doctor, and I am with you.
Okay, I'm going to close that scene. Pleasant. What about you? Because I think there are some moral choices that we need to try and sort out. Before I leave that, if you answer truthfully, you say which one of you gets to recover. So
I'm going to say the good doctor recovers.
So the good doctor
Wise
can clear
decision.
his stress track. It didn't get as far as a wound, did it?
It didn't,
Okay.
but the stress track was pretty full.
So clear that, and let's move to Pleasant. Pleasant, I don't know if you've got any modifiers to your downtime cramp quarters on the character sheet, but otherwise roll +2.
Just to choices, not to the roll. But it's 12, so hooray.
So 7+, recover.
I certainly shall. I have something to recover now. That's exciting.
So recover the stress on you, or have you got any stressed equipment that needs
just
fixing?
me.
Okay, there you go. Clear that. Job good.
And I have a new move that during a downtime, I can keep a discreet eye on a person, ship, faction, trend, event, etc. So that will be the Jihun. I'll be monitoring them.
Okay.
And
so does that allow you to ask me a question?
I don't think so. I think it just says, oh, I can ask you to give an update.
Yeah. I think that the business pages are full of Jihun show friction. And the gossip pages talk about one Brizantimus show who it is said has abandoned his family and weakened them. And the Jihun, it seems to me, are capitalizing on that. So there is some Jihun show tension, which seems to be suggesting the Jihun are coming out on top because they're saying, you know, not even members of the family want to stay in the business. What's that going to do to your share price?
For my selection, I'd like to tick a project clock on the virus, which I think if you want this as a scene could be working with Briz, and both of those parts could come up, and some other things.
And I think that you've isolated Briz's, you've done the comparison, and I think I'm prepared to say at this point that Briz's is further down, is a more primitive virus in a sense. They were looking to change it to do different things. but the sense
Okay.
you get is that this viral family is aimed at personality change. In Briz's case, the empathy virus, and they appear to have been tinkering with it to achieve other outcomes.
And it seems like this one was also more virulent. Like, as far as we know, this empathy one didn't run wild, but the
Exactly so.
Cannibal Holocaust one certainly did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, none of you have picked up the empathy virus from Briz, and there's no evidence that
No.
it survives outside the body.
I'm just naturally preachy. That's not from the virus. So I think I would like to go to wherever Briz is. There wouldn't be a newspaper, so I guess a hollow pad, and there's 2 tabs on it, and one is what I just read about. And I'm going to say conspicuously behind it and very easy to tap on and see if Briz decides he wants to is also my analysis results to kind of broach that conversation. But I think, look at this, Briz, you're a celebrity.
Okay, that's good. It's good. It looks like they're at each other's throats.
Yeah. And you're on the gossip pages. Congratulations.
It's probably not great for me.
No, because there is actually a photograph of you in the cadence in the SETI row, because that you were identified as enjoying yourself.
Oh,
That's-
when we were on
Rosalia.
shore leave.
Yeah, that's not great. That may not endear me entirely with my associates.
Which associates?
I have been working very hard to prove myself to the One Sky Syndicate, and they may regard this as me being unreliable.
They've got an inter-system spokesperson now. Think of all the people you could turn to the cause if you're a celebrity. Can I get your autograph before it becomes too hard to do that?
I have a sense of some mockery there, but we're going to leave that aside for the moment.
That's not what I was going for.
That's I apologize for reading it that way then.
Some people have trouble picking up on my emotional states. I'd be like, if I'm imagining, just because you haven't said anything, that Briz is kind of trying to hand back the data pad. I'm not taking it. I'm kind of like,
Was there something else?
oh, there's some other data. I wanted to just look at the data. There's data behind it. You're very trustworthy. Thank you for not looking, but I want you to see that too. That that virus that the one-armed fellow in the cargo hold has is not that different from the one that you have. It's not the same. It's not the same. I don't think you're gonna try to kill and eat me.
Not now, anyway.
In that the moment has passed, or that
was a joke.
You're very big and frightening. Not Jort level, but still.
It's just the suit. So what's your end game, Pleasant, here?
I think the look on their face probably makes you somewhat regret asking that immediately. Like, there's a very long answer to this, which I will say the short version of it is the whole, hey, if this is more virulent, can I combine it with what you've got? And then we can start spreading good feelings all throughout the systems. But it goes on and on. So at some point, maybe you interrupt. I don't know. Maybe just listen to the whole thing.
I do think there's like throughout this, there's me kind of gently reaching out and pushing you back, because I do think you are a little more in personal space, you know. And I think at the end I say, you should probably not tell Paxed what you are doing.
Oh, as a general rule, try not to tell Pax anything.
What I
He's got
mean
big
is
opinions.
he does, and his big opinion on this will be this is dangerous, and I am in agreement with him that this is very dangerous.
What would you do to mitigate the danger? I mean, at this point, it's foolish to think that that man is the only active sample of this virus.
True.
If we get rid of him, all
What
we've
I would
done
do
is
for the
lose
big
our...
is I would not be working on means of modifying this virus. I would be working on means of neutralizing this virus. I think you need to, before you go any further in investigating a means of deploying this for positive ends, you'd better figure out how to stop it. Because if we run into more of these, or if they start using them, we need to be ready to be able to neutralize that. And that's tech we need to get out the door. I know it undercuts this effectiveness as a weapon, but my fear is that they are going to use this to control populations, like the people in your home system, because this is the kind of viral thing that they can fire and forget. Imagine if they could just do a docility virus.
You're right. You're totally right. I lost sight of the order of operations. That'll be my next step.
Okay, yeah. Now I trust you to do the right thing, and I will do what you need me to do on this. I just appreciate that's my opinion on this, and I may not be right.
Just don't let Pax throw away my one sample.
I don't think Pax is not going to want to have anybody killed on this. Pax, I think Pax recognizes this is a danger, and if you frame this as you looking for a cure, and in fact are looking for a cure, I think that's a good place to start.
I think maybe the scene ends with me making a face on the like, Pax doesn't want to kill anyone. Like, what? Pax is very pragmatic, whatever the simplest solution is.
Riz, I am curious whether while transiting or immediately after you complete the transit, you seek to kill Security Chief Etan.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, I will come back to you in a moment. Next, cramped quarters. We haven't had you yet, I think. So roll +2.
It is +1, I think, because of my background.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah, it's these tin cans are so primitive.
But it is a 10. Yay!
Oh, okay. So on a 10, recover, but I think you've covered that, haven't you?
Yes, thanks to Jort.
Just a jort. Dig into library data, reveal a truth in a conversation, or a bit of study.
I would like to reveal a truth in a conversation to Pleasant.
Fine. So where does that conversation take place? Is it again
In the med bay?
Oh,
I think
fine.
in the I would assume that Pleasant was you were working on your project the whole time. So I would assume that the easiest place to get hold of you is in the med bay. Is that true?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the talk with the Priz, that would be the most sensible place.
And I brought with me 2 mugs. One is with tea, and one is with a beverage of my choice, probably alcohol. I give you the tea.
Oh, hey,
Hey.
thanks. I'm glad you're trying some.
No, yeah, sure. Have the tea. Great. I thought you needed you're working hard on your project, I see. So what's the result?
No is the result. No results yet. I talked to Briz and he pointed out that whatever the space version of the cart before the horse is, the thrust before the fuselage or something. I need to know how to turn this off before I try
Before
to aim in a different direction.
Aim in a different direction. Can you spell that out to me?
This is what's your doctorate in?
Space science.
Yeah, okay. This is like the virus is a vehicle that you can put different cargoes in. And I feel like that's an opportunity we don't want to throw away, but you know, we have to learn how to disable the vehicle before we have it driving anywhere else. Is what Briz was saying. And that makes a lot of sense.
Pleasant. The vehicle can go in any direction, not only the one that you know, point the vehicle at. Can go off course, if you will. It can do, you know, whatever happened to Briz. Or it could be even worse. Do you think that free will is like precious?
Think at that point I was still tinkering around. I look up at Pax at that point, and be like, this conversation's a lot more intense than I was expecting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't thought about free will.
You think somebody can do something good if you point a gun at them and tell them to do something good?
Okay. I would say it's better than them doing something bad without the gun. On the whole.
And the guy who's pointing the gun is a good guy in your perspective?
If he's leading to more good in the system, yeah. I mean, is this about Briz? I know he points guns at people a lot,
Well,
but he doesn't pull the trigger that much.
it's about the virus. And I think we have to destroy it before it gets out of hand.
Yeah. What makes you think it hasn't already? Those guys were running away. They could be anywhere in the system.
That's why I wanted to catch up with them. That's why I left, you know, our friends behind. Look, Pleasant, I'm responsible for a huge catastrophe, and I don't want it to happen again.
I get that. You've actually, is that new information, or do we know that?
No, I think you know that there was something in Axt's background that set him on the run, inverted commas, from SETI Row.
That's the truth that I'm revealing is, you know, we were trying to harness the power of the slipstream and it got out of hand. And I was blue-eyed and naive like you are now. Yeah, we will, we have everything under control, sure. Pleasant, let me kill that poor guy. Let me draw a line under this experiment.
What happens if you kill him and then we find out it's already spread and I've got nothing to study to stop it? You're making a lot of assumptions.
If I could trust you to just study the virus in order to find an antidote, sure, but I don't trust you. I think we have to make sure that you can't do your crazy Frankensteinian experiments.
I promised Briz I was going to find a way to stop it first.
I think, yeah.
I mean, because I think your positions are clear.
Exactly.
We're at risk of just going round the tree. So,
yeah.
So I think my question, in the same way I asked Briz, is Security Chief Etan going to survive? The answer was no. Paxed, does that pirate survive?
I mean, we have on the Lines and Veil tabs, no betrayal. Would if the
Well,
others agree?
Let me be clear. Pleasant has blood samples.
Mhm.
So I don't think we're bringing an end to Pleasant's
Mhm.
research on, as it says on the project, isolate and replicate. But I don't think that, well, I don't think that crosses the line. But
Okay, cool.
Let's step out for a moment. Keith, what do you think?
No, I don't think as far as the line, I would say I wouldn't want that hand waved because I would fight against it in character. Because if I develop a cure and I don't have anyone to test it on, how do I know I've developed a cure?
Okay,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So
let alone the humanitarian aspect of it.
So I think then I don't think there needs to be a role for Briz. I think I just need to have Briz describe how Security Chief Ito comes to an end. But I think probably Paxed, I do need you to make some kind of role and describe how it is you seek to take out that. And then there's the option on Pleasant to, aid an ally inverse. Yeah. So Paxed, how do you go about getting rid of this as yet showing no signs but infected individual?
Oh, sorry, I was blanking out. That was for PAX. I thought it was for Briz.
No.
I'm waiting until Pleasant is asleep, and I will sneak into the quarantine compartment, and I will try to shoot them in the back, in the head.
Okay, I think this is a straightforward face danger.
Mm-hmm. With sneaking precision.
I think with sneaking, yeah. So it is roll plus precision.
Let's see, what's my precision at?
And then I will ask Pleasant, what, if any, precautions Pleasant has put in place to try and reduce the chance of this happening, and then we'll do the flip side of aid an ally. Yeah. So
I don't think I need to.
No,
no, you don't. It is a 6.
It is a 6. You fail, and you pay a price. I don't think there is any need for Pleasant, but I think I can ask Pleasant why Paxed fails.
I mean, I need a lot of permission for this because I feel like it's very interesting, but it does affect Pax. Like, instead of just venting the compartment, you went in with an infected person. Like, there's a 6 minus that I see quite clearly there.
It could be if Keith, if what you're aiming is, I actually do kill the guy, but I get infected by doing so. Is that what you're saying?
Or so,
there is an option in the move that says a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events.
But I do worry that might end up sidelining you.
Okay.
If you are infected. So maybe what it actually is what I had set up is some kind of quarantine alarm thing. You get in there, you pull the trigger, and then the whole thing locks down. And it's that sort of Schrodinger's box of, is Paxed infected? We don't know, but he was breathing the air when he killed this guy. And I think that's narratively more fun than just,
I think we don't know is a great outcome there. And Briz, I just need to know what, if
I
anything,
get Jort to help
steel.
me. Jort, we get this guy in the crosshairs. We put a bullet in his head. And as soon as he's done, we talk to the guys, and they say, we're handing the shuttle over to some other people who are part of a brotherhood. You are welcome to go with them, or we will drop you off somewhere else.
And I think that is what we see as you emerge from the ring gate at Leshan. the kind of security, there's pop, 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 and the shuttle peels away and you go your different ways. And that, I think, is just about end of episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we will explore the Leshan system and perhaps consider whether IDB research might be of use in our quest. So I think we're done. End of session XP. Let's start with Dr. Bransom. I carried my burden for good or ill. Oh, yes, you did.
I was definitely aiming for that experience point
Yeah,
very hard.
and I think your origin and career backgrounds mattered in that context. I suffered a loss, a defeat, or a setback. I think pushing the reactor would count as that.
Maybe getting infected.
Yeah,
Could
maybe
be,
getting
yes.
infected. Yeah, I give you that one. I claimed a victory for myself and or the ship.
Well, I mean, we did catch the spaceship.
And you tethered it and all that stuff with your flying. Yeah, I championed an ally and let them shine.
Not sure.
I can't think of an occasion, I'll be honest with
No.
you. So I'm going to give you 4 XP.
Cool.
So that fills the track and leaves you with an overflow of 2. You have an improvement to choose for next time.
Cool.
Okay, make a note of that improvement down, that you're going to make you've got improvement to come, because I will otherwise forget. Briz, I carried my burden for good or ill. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You went to school with a burden. My origin and career, yeah, that also kicked in there, I think. I suffered a loss, defeat, or a setback.
Yeah, I thought this whole station was going to be great for us. I thought that my plan was dynamite, that we're going to hand the pirates off, that it was all going to work out, and it did not.
It did not. I think that's very fair, because, yeah, you were fairly convinced this would work like clockwork last time.
And the flip side of that is I don't think I claimed a victory, like that of any significance there.
Well, beyond a pen set, and while
Yeah.
Jort values it, I'm not sure that Briz does quite as much.
Yeah.
I championed an ally and let them shine.
I think I did push Jort forward several times on dealing with the Brotherhood, if that seems fair to you, Paul.
Yeah. Okay. So you can have that last one as well. So that is 4 more, which will fill that track and give you another improvement next time.
Oof.
That's so easy to get improvement in this game. Let us come to Jort. 4. Did Jort carry his burden for good or ill?
I think I did it because it had a massive effect on what I did and also the scene with Horst.
Yeah, it did. It did. My origin and career background, I think that the whole origin story, the Cancri survivors, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and you know, I think it caused a big shift in what me and Briz did.
Yeah. I suffered a loss, a defeat, or a setback.
Never. Joy is never defeated.
I claimed a victory for myself and or the ship.
Definitely. That was a victory, you know, yeah, definitely as far as I see it.
Yeah, Paul deletes that box. Yes. And even if I did, I would never admit it. I am Jort.
Yes.
I championed an ally and let them shine.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of moves to set Briz up for a few.
I would agree. So you can have 4 from this one, which doesn't fill the track. It feels like it's hardly worth it. And finally, Pleasant. I carried my burden for good or ill. I think so. You know, I think the whole moral question here of do I want to make the cluster more empathic? Oh, but what if the virus mutates? So I think definitely that. My origin and career background, that all ties together. I think that's practically the same thing. I suffered a loss, a defeat, or a setback.
I was angling towards that by taking all the stress.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. I claimed a victory for myself and or the ship.
I don't know.
I would say the whole working out what's going on with the virus fits there. Did you champion an ally and let them shine?
I rolled 8 a few times. I don't know if that hits it.
I think that's fair. So you can have all 5, and that fills your track. Gee whiz, what's going on? We've got like 2 minutes for a quick stars and wishes, if we still have time for that.
Sure.
Any stars, any wishes? Lowell, you've probably got a game to go and prep, so I'm going to come to you first.
Stars, still really enjoying this character thing. I love that the mission went terribly wrong. That we got the cannibalism and the rage virus and stuff. I am glad that we were able to save someone. Though at a cost. And like I enjoyed all of those character interactions. The arguing with Praxt and negotiating with Pleasant and working alongside Jort. All great character moments. So solid for me, stars wise. Wishes, nothing off the top of my head. No, I'm just enjoying kind of seeing where this goes.
Okay, fine. Just ride the horse.
Yes.
Paul, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, all round. As Lowell said, some good RP scenes. I especially enjoyed my RP scene with Dr. Pax. I thought that was really good horse. Thank you very much for that. And I really liked the interaction between Lowell and Keith, and sort of Paxed about the virus. I sort of stayed out of that. But yeah, really good scene. Liked it. And Alan, a big one for you for putting a pen set in there. Clearly of no use to me in any way, shape, or form, but you know, on your random table of things on a desk, that was a good find.
Any wishes, Paul?
You can't beat a pen set, can you? So no, I
No,
don't know.
pen set and cannibalism. I mean, you just need someone to use that pen set on now. Keith, any stars, any wishes?
Yes, stars wise, a lot of the same stuff from previous sessions as far as the characters, but also seeing stuff drawing together and the kind of meta plot. It's getting real juicy, and I see the dominoes getting set up to fall down very interestingly in the last few sessions, so it's exciting. Wishes, I want to see the pen set come up again, at least once. And relatedly, didn't get any one-on-one time with Jort. Got to push for that next time. Enjoy
Okay.
my Jort interactions.
We'll
Well,
have, on that, I'm not going to be here next week. I've got a family thing. So my downtime action, I won't make it back to the ship because I'm going to be on a lovely beach somewhere with that female pirate captain. So I've already uploaded the image. There we go. It's a winner. Yes, but we will have that scene at some stage.
Have you checked out the faces and places for Karst?
Well, yeah, you know, she's brushed up nicely.
And finally, Horst, any stars, any wishes?
I mean, my star is definitely for. I know that Paul and Alan hate PvP and character betrayal and stuff, and I do secretly like it very much. So I'm happy that you allowed me to
Just
insert
push the envelope.
a little bit of a PvP, and in good spirits. Keith was happy to have his patient be killed. So it's really in a good, it's PvP, but it's not in a bad spirit.
Yeah, I'd endorse that. That would have been my star. Any wishes?
I do have rocket boots, and I would love to see them in action.
Rocket boots, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Okay, I'll see what I can do for next time. You are in a system which just has a belt. So, lots of places to go from A to B. My stars, I thought character scenes were great. I thought you all responded really interestingly when things went to shit. Thank you for a virus that now I can do anything with. And Paul, what worries you? Oh, the body parts. Okay, we'll go with that. I will see you next time, folks. Paul, have a good occasion, whatever it is.
Thank you.
Oh, and is it okay if I post this?
Yes.
Lowell is muted. Wants to say something.
Oh, go on, Lo.
You haven't put it.
I was going to say, after you
high-res
stop
mode.
the recording, I want to say something to you. Put something